I'd like to thank my colleague Dr O'Brien for bringing this bill to the House. It will scrap the power for ministers to make sweeping changes to planning law without a vote of the Oireachtas. It will also ban co-living and the substandard design of build-to-rent properties for renters. We are told that the Housing Minister, Dáil Éireann, is conducting a review of co-living. While in opposition, the Minister labelled co-living as bonkers. The Taoiseach referred to it as battery cage type accommodation. It isn't often that I would agree with the Minister or the Taoiseach on a housing policy, but these are indeed strange times. On June the 11th last year, the Green Party produced a paper on co-living and co-housing, labelling co-living as inhumane and profit-driven. It was wrong then and it's wrong now. You're in opposition then, you're in government now. It was wrong and it's still wrong, and it needs to be rectified. The reason for co-living is not to cut the very long housing waiting lists. It is to maximise profit for developers by squeezing as many housing units into small spaces as possible. While Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael may have a cosy relationship with developers, I would urge you as the Green Party not to be tainted by association. In Kildare, the standard response for the Council when I make a representation for a constituent requiring housing is that they are dealing with 2007 and 2008. That's 12 and 13 years. That's a disgrace. And everyone else will have to find a HAP tenancy. HAP tenancies are like hen's teats in Kildare. And bad and all as the situation is in that, if you're single, the HAP tenancy is even worse, because the reality is you can't find HAP tenancy for single people. And most often, you're asked to go to the charity shop and buy a tent. Last Friday, I slept outdoors for Focus Ireland Shine a Light Sleep Out. I commend the work of Focus Ireland and Housing Action in Kildare in particular, whose members between them raised over €1,000 for Focus Ireland. My experience gave me a tiny glimpse into the life of a rough sleeper. The cold gets inside you and it takes hours the next day when you come in out of the cold to warm up. Sounds are amplified, and I'm sure nobody who rough sleep ever gets a good night's sleep. I felt safe. I was in my backyard. Imagine what it's like trying to sleep in the constant danger of being on a public street. The only solution is to build public housing on public land and to ensure the homes are affordable for the poor. I'm asking that this bill gets the support it deserves. Gar Mashkut.